7:04 this morning, and we now move to a news alert where a former Greenville County deputy will go before a judge today facing assault charges.
And we've been closely following this story since the very beginning, back in July of 2020. Fox Carolina's own Linda Gibbs is live in the studio to tell us what will happen in the courtroom today.
Hey, good morning, Margaret and Ashley. Now, the deputy was last in court this year in July, but the judge declared a mistrial because of surprise evidence that was brought forward. Now, the judge said the defense had body camera footage that had not been introduced as evidence, which is a violation of court rules. Now, the suspect, former Greenville County Deputy Ryan Andrew Gibson, is charged with misconduct in office, misconduct as a public official, and assault and battery in the third degree. A South Carolina Law Enforcement Division charged Gibson after an excessive force complaint. Investigators say the victim, Benny Jones, pulled over to make sure one of his friends was okay during a traffic stop with Gibson. According to arrest warrants, Gibson hit Jones with both his hands and legs during the incident. Gibson was involved in 2 prior use of force incidents before the arrest in 2020. Now, Gibson will be in court at 9:30 this morning to move forward with his trial or take a plea.